All right. So you finally landed in your new home. You just started to get settled. You're still amped about the fact that you've moved abroad and you took a big leap. Maybe you're with your child, you're a single mom, and you now have the opportunity to show your children or your child this wonderful, vast world and an opportunity to give them a different experience. Or maybe it's just you and your husband, and you've decided we're going to move abroad and we're going to live our best life, and we're not going to wait for retirement. We're going to live now while we have the opportunity to do so. But here's the caveat: you haven't found your people. You don't know what you don't know. And at the end of the day, we all just want to be connected. So what? What do you do now? We're going to talk about it. Today, I want to talk about community, community building, and having a sense of belonging while you're living abroad. Let's talk about it. All right, all right, all right. I get questions all the time about living in Malaysia. Are there Black people living in Malaysia? How did you find and connect to your community? Did you find your tribe? I get all of these questions. And I'm just going to be very candid today. If you watch me, you already know that I'm the real deal. Like I speak from my heart. And today I'm rocking my Maya, Malcolm, Frederick, Harriet, and Langston t-shirt because we about to talk about it. We're gonna talk about the community that you absolutely need to have if you're gonna thrive and live abroad. Because yes, it's great that you stepped out of your comfort zone. It is great that you have these great ambitions about living in this vast world and doing some amazing things. Great, fabulous. But when all the shininess starts to settle and you start realizing this is life, right? You can hit the ground running and do all the touristy stuff and be all in these streets and you like, hey, I'm seeing all the stuff, yay. But that's all temporary, especially if we're not traveling, we are living abroad. So I want to talk about the reality of what that means. So no matter where you go, you want to find your people. You want to settle in and you want to be able to be like, "Oh, look, I can connect with people." If you love dogs, you want to find dog lovers. If you like coffee, you want to find the best coffee house where you can go have your coffee. If you are a cigar smoker, you want to find the best lounge where you can smoke your cigars. The thing is, you want to find a place where you can just be you, right? You want to have a sense of normalcy. That's what living allows you to do. When you traveling, you in and out. And that's why I tell people all the time, traveling somewhere and living somewhere, two very different things. People go places and be like, you know what? I loved that place. I'm gonna move there. Not the same experience, boo. It's not. It really isn't. So today I just really want to break down some key things. The first thing I want to talk about is getting settled. It is extremely important that you find your comfort zone. Find the grocery store that you like going to, find the people that make you happy, that you can connect with, the parks, all the things that give you a sense of normalcy. That is going to be key because again, we're living, we want to thrive in this place, and that's extremely important. And so I want to be very candid about Malaysia because I live here, right? And I love Malay. I love Kuala Lumpur. But also this is my 11th month. So next month And at the time of this recording, it is March of 2025. Next month, it'll be a year. And I always have to reevaluate, what am I doing? What is making me happy? I love living abroad. I don't necessarily miss home. I think I'm way past that stage. There are times that I have nostalgia moments where I'm like, you know what? I miss this, that, or the other. However, I'm kind of vested in living abroad. But one of the things that I haven't found, you asked me, like, I haven't found my place, right? And I sought out to be in Thailand originally and never really made it. I've gone to Thailand. I like Thailand. I feel comfortable in Thailand. But I'm supposed to be in Chiang Mai. I set out on this journey to be in Chiang Mai and I haven't gotten there. And I think once I go, I'm gonna be like, you know what? It's everything. Now, if you follow me, then you know I'm also into relocation travel, astrocartology, and everything is on directly. Chiang Mai is directly on my Venus and my Jupiter, and a part of my sun, baby. So I know going there is going to change like different things. However, I love Kuala Lumpur, so I'm like, and so I'm at that place where it's like, okay, we have to reevaluate what's next. And if I'm going to be completely honest about Kuala Lumpur, one of the things that I noticed even prior to coming here and being here, I have noticed it because it's who I am. I'm gonna dig deep. I'm gonna keep asking questions like why. And the one thing that I always have asked is why haven't Black people, particularly Black women, um, or I mean Black men, Black people from America, why haven't they settled and got excited about Kuala Lumpur? Kuala Lumpur is a thriving city. All the amenities, the housing is beautiful. The food is amazing because you have all kinds of different cultures. And I, I don't eat bad food in Kuala Lumpur, right? The culture here is very diverse. There are things to do. But I kept asking, like, what is going on? And one of the things I found is that it didn't have a thriving community. Like, if you listen, if you're a Black traveler, because right? There are brothers and sister groups. When I lived in Korea 15 years ago, it's been longer than that. Oh my God. But anyways, I went to Korea about 15, 16 years ago. Um, we had a Brothers and Sisters of Korea. And it was one of the first brothers and sister groups. And it was actually quite large because it made up pretty much all of Korea. And people would travel from Mapo all the way up to Seoul, Busan to Seoul, just so that we could do things together. We would have Thanksgiving dinner together. We had movie nights. We played spades, baby, on every Thursday. Listen, there was all kinds of things that was going on, and there was a thriving community. So you have that in Thailand. You have the brothers and sisters of Thailand. You have Black in Chiang Mai, brothers and sisters in Chiang Mai. You have all of these different groups. Same thing that goes like in Mexico. We had a brothers and sisters of Merida. You have a brothers and sisters of, I believe there's a brothers and sisters of Playa, but there's definitely a Black in Tulum, Black in Playa. You have all of these different groups. All Portugal, same thing. You have Black in Portugal. You have Black in Lisbon. You have all of these different groups that are community based and supports you when you move. So thriving there, you can always and listen, you don't have to be doing all the things all the time. You find your people, you connect, you go to, whatever events that they're throwing. I remember in Merida, when I lived in Mexico, we had movie nights. Now a lot of stuff I hosted. I had Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving at my house. We had, I don't even know how to say this because it sounds, I'm not even gonna talk about it. But there were a friend of mine had sex education parties, and it's not what you think. It was really about, the theme or essence of it was about sex, but it was really about, you know, they had yoni steams and things like that. So, anyways, my point of the matter is, don't try to get me off track. But the point of the matter is that there was community, people were doing things together. Now, I don't think just because I mean, go move abroad, that you need to go find all things black in a place, right? You need to find your tribe. You need to find your community, and that can look vastly different for everyone. I don't have a dog, but I'm certain if I had a dog, I would definitely want to be in a dog community. I would want to be somewhere where they have dogs. And in Malaysia, dogs are not they're not accepted widely because of the Islamic culture. So finding a spot like Desa Park City, you go move there, and most people have that's a Chinese community. They have a lot of dogs. They have a dog park. They have all the things for the dogs, right? In other places where it's largely Islamic, they're not gonna have dogs. Matter of fact, there are places that you cannot bring your dog and live in that area. So where I'm going with this is that community is important. And one of the things that when I think about living here, there was no community when I got here. And there was a Brothers and Sisters of Malaysia. That's vast. Malaysia's, a big island or a peninsula. And you have a plethora of people all over the place, right? And so because there are several different expat areas in Kuala Lumpur, it is, you may see spots of people, but there was nothing that jailed and connected people in one group. So I started Brothers and Sisters of Kuala Lumpur. And when I founded that, it was just me and then one of my friends, Davida, who moved here from Mexico as well. And then I started just connecting with other people. And when I would see people out, I'll be like, hey, or when people were traveling to Kuala Lumpur, then they would stop through, join, and connect. Now, what I will say about that is that for the most part, the group is still very transit because a lot of people are considering living here, but may not have already moved. So that's one thing that you have to think about. And I will tell anybody, if you are planning to live abroad and you want to live in a place and actually get settled and have roots, the thing that you are going to want to consider is, where is my community? And that doesn't have to be a community based on race or community based on your own culture. It could literally be how you want to show up and identify and move in the sense of what makes you happy, whether that's a knitting club, whether that's an American club, whether that's a German club, whether that's a South African club, whatever is going to connect you and make you have a sense of belonging. That is what's going to be important. The other thing is that for me, I find that, I like to do things. I'm an introvert, but I'm also a community builder. I'm a person who wants to make sure everything is good, that people are celebrated, seen, heard, and that they have the support systems that they need. And that's the biggest thing about being in a community when you're an expat. Finding your people is really about having the support, especially if you're a single mom. You want to have a support of other single moms or a mom's group. Or if you're in international school, you want to have the international school group because your children are participating in things. And so this becomes your group. And we are people, and people need to have group sync. Not to say that that's all you have to do, and not to say that you go find, if you're American, go find all the Americans. I am part of uh, an organization called um, AAM, American Association of Malaysia, which is a bunch of expats from America who have connected, and their support group. So if you want to know anything about the embassy, if you want to know anything about, you know, support that you need, help in finding things, they're there for you, right? And so the same thing when I created Brothers and Sisters of Kuala Lumpur, I wanted it to be a safe haven for people who look like me, who happen to be Black American, or you can be from the diaspora. It doesn't matter if you're a Black or brown person and you identify, it comes. We want to support you. We want you to be comfortable. We want your children to connect and see themselves while living abroad. And I think that's just important, right? I also think it's important that you are involved in the local community and that you connect with the locals because you're living in their country. Give them some respect. you know, Find and meet people. Listen, I love my water person. He brings me my water, and every time he brings me my water, he always teaches me another Malay word. And he always asks me like, have you found Malay friends? How are you doing? How are they treating you? Are you happy? He's the kindest man ever. I love him. I love him. And, I have met some really great Malay individuals through American Association of Malaysia because they are welcome. You can come in and be a member even if you're a friend of, right? And so I think it's important that you bridge gaps and that you connect. I know that my son has Malay friends. There is a Indian family that lives next door to us who has two daughters. They play. And then there is a Chinese young man who also plays with them, but it's probably about 10 kids. The core of them is the Indian family and the Chinese young man who they all play together. But it's just nice to have such diversity in the city and being able to connect to other people. But even with that, for me, and I'm only speaking for me, I also want to be able to connect to my own roots, my own culture. I like soul food. I love soul food. I love Indian food. I love Chinese. I love Thai, but I love me some macaroni and cheese and some barbecue chicken, baby, and some sweet potatoes. Listen, so I gotta have it. Thank God I know how to cook, so I can cover that. But it is important to step out of your comfort zone. It's important to connect to the locals and to know people. And if for nothing else, to have a good resource for doing things. I have business partnerships with different people throughout the city. And it's great to like sit down, have lunch with one of my Malay Chinese friends. It's great to have lunch with, you know, some business partners that I have connected with throughout the city, but there still was something missing. And that's the one thing that I'm very candid with people who are looking to move to Malaysia, that there isn't there isn't a sense of the glue, I guess. That's really where I'm going with that. Um and I think that's important. But I also think it's important to grow, expand, get out your comfort zone, connect with locals, to build relationships, and to join other groups. So I have joined groups that are American. I have joined groups that are women based. I have joined groups of Malay business people. And so that helps, but it is extremely important that you connect with somebody. You find your people, you find your tribe, you have a sense of belonging, and there is a place for you. And that is not always easy. And when I look at some of the other places like Thailand, for instance, you have Phuket, you have Chiang Mai, you have Bangkok, you have some other places, but they have large pockets of people who can come together. I had a group of people that came here. They were like, "Yeah, we was just in Bangkok and we went to a barbecue," and I was like, "Yeah, we at the barbecue," and they were like, "Yeah, everybody, bust out spades and." We had a good time because I haven't had that since I left America. The, those moments are amazing. I know we had a game night here. This was in December, and I loved it. And there was the young people, there were older people, there was everything in between, and we played games, laughed, and had fun. But a lot of people were transit. They were only here for that month or they were only here for that week. And it just happened to fall on the week that we were doing the game night. And so the one thing that I would love to see here in Malaysia is more people come and stay and connect and find community and galvanize and get together and support each other. And so I wanted to do this video for a couple reasons because I want people to understand that if they're coming to Malaysia, we do have a Black community of about 90 so people. All of them do not live here. Some of them are considering living here. Some of them live here. We do have several Black families who get together. I know that I have a core group of people that I'm constantly with. My son plays with a family, actually, a couple families that are from the US that we do a lot of different things together. And when people come in the city, I try to connect with everybody. Sometimes I can't, sometimes I can. I just had a young lady and her family come through from North Carolina. Shout out to Katrina. Um, and we had a great conversation. I feel like, I have a sister in the travel world out here that we can talk about, all the things that we've been through in life. And so it's great to be able to connect. And I love being able to have lunch or dinner or grab a coffee with people who are coming through and they're very transit because they're not staying. They may be here for a week, maybe here for a month, but there are people who are living here. And so, if nothing else, I wanted to answer the question of are there Black people in Malaysia? Yes, there are. And I also wanted to drive home the fact that we do have a community. We have events. They're not always consistent because we don't have a lot of people who are participating or show up to a lot of different things. But we are cultivating and creating a sense of community here. So if you come through to Kuala Lumpur and you happen to be a Black or brown person and you want to join us, you can go to Facebook and look up Brothers and Sisters of Kuala Lumpur. We also have a WhatsApp group. We share different information. There are some people who are more active than others, but for the most part, we're here, we're doing our thing. Um, we celebrate with the locals and celebrate. Like right now, it's Ramadan. So we're respecting the Islamic culture and all the things that they go on. Listen, I swear to God, there has been fireworks since I feel like November, definitely December. December to March is all about fireworks. Every night you're gonna hear fireworks because you have to think about you had Christmas in December, then you had New Year's, then you had Chinese New Year, and Chinese New Year's is about 12 days. So you have fireworks every night. And then after Chinese New Year, then Ramadan, and there have been fireworks every night since. And Ramadan is a whole month. So, like, literally, there's so much going on. There's so much to do. I love living here. But one of the things I always have to question and consider is community. And as an expat, I I need community. When I was a single person traveling abroad alone, I needed community then, but I definitely need it now that I have a child. I want him to be able to connect with his people and be able to play and engage and have some social life, but then also for myself. And I do have a core group of female friends here or associates that I can connect with who look like me. And that's not always like the ideal situation because I'm grateful that I do have some Indian friends. I have some uh, Chinese Malay friends. I have some friends from other expat groups and from all over the world. But at the core, when you want to just have a sense of home, you just want to be able to be comfortable in your own skin and find people who are very similar to yourself. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think sometimes it's absolutely needed. And so, if you find a group of Americans and that's your thing and being around Americans, oftentimes I'm, for instance, I'm in the AAM group and I'm with Americans, but I'm one of that looks like me. And as a Black woman from America who has been in corporate settings as the one representing the whole of all the Black community, listen, I ain't for it. I don't. It never felt healthy. It never felt right because I don't want to speak for all of Black America because I can't because I'm one person and my views may be different, right? And so, you know, oftentimes when you are highly educated, highly ambitious. You find yourself in settings, and then you end up being the representation for all things Black because you're the one only. I've been in so many companies where I was the only Black or one of three, right? And there is no sense of belonging there. I don't care what your company values are. I'm not gonna feel at home in that situation. I'm just not because number one, I'm representing a whole entire community, which I may or may not agree with, and I'm not the spokesperson, and I don't want to be the representation for all things Black. Period. And I think it's always weighed heavily on my heart, and then being able to travel the world and for the most part, Black people are starting to travel more. But 15 years ago, you find yourself out there and you be the only sister out there doing your thing. Now you have a lot of solo Black travelers. You have, the passport bros. You have single moms who are traveling abroad. So you have a lot of different pockets and you can meet at intersections and feel like you done met the best people. I have met some amazing people on this journey. And you just want to connect with your people and just be like, hey, I really had a great conversation. I'm shout out to Katrina again. I literally had a conversation 2 weeks ago and we sat down and had lunch. And a it was just a great and amazing feeling because I didn't have to code switch. I didn't have to like, dance and do a shuck and jive. I could literally be authentically me, and you know, I curse naturally. So I could be me. I didn't have to like put on any airs. And I've lived in Charlotte. She currently lives in Charlotte. And, there were so many different similarities and so many things that we could have a conversation about. And I just enjoyed the conversation. And I think that's extremely important, especially when you're living abroad, because those opportunities don't always come, at least not every day. And so when you do get those opportunities, it's great to be able to lean into those opportunities. So I hope that as I wind this up, or wind this down, actually, I hope that you can take away from this particular video that community is essential when you're living abroad. Whether you're a single mom, whether you are a single man, whether you're a single woman, whether you are family traveling, whether you are a retiree, whatever your status is, and however you are traveling and moving through this world, having a sense of belonging and a way to connect is extremely important. And so if you plan on or come through Kuala Lumpur, I just wanted to stop by and say, we're here. Come connect with us. And yes, when you're in Kuala Lumpur, there are some Black people. We are doing some amazing things. We do have a community. Our community is growing. It's not always consistently having certain types of events. However, we shoot out information as we get it. We're here for, as a sounding board if you need help. Whatever the situation is, please drop by, stop by, shout out if you come through, come connect. Let's do this thing. But I just wanted to shout that out and also take some time to let people know the real, because we're growing. We started from zero uh 11 months ago, not even 11 months ago, I think maybe 9 months ago, and we are continuously growing. And so as people show up in Kuala Lumpur, we're going to continue to sow into them and show them the support that they need. um but yeah, I definitely wanted to talk about that, and I hope that you got something from this and that you can take something away from it. And again, I'm going to drop the links to the Brothers and Sisters group down in the description. But also, I want to take an opportunity to let you know that we have a guidebook. So if you're considering moving to Kuala Lumpur, when you join Brothers and Sisters, you also get the opportunity to get our guidebook, which breaks down all the things that you need to know, visa requirements to like different expat neighborhoods. I also have a neighborhood guide that breaks down what each expat neighborhood is like, the essence of it, talks about it. That's down in my description. Go ahead and get that. Um, but also community, like what our community is like and how we connect and what we do. There's different events that pop up. Again, I'm not even going to tell you that the events are consistent because they are not. Again, we are a very transit community, but we are developing. We're in development. So if this helped you, please drop a comment. Tell me, why you're considering KL, some of your apprehensions about moving to Malaysia and or KL. So drop down just a comment of, saying that you support your sister. That's like, let's engage, let's talk about it. And again, if you're interested in moving to KL, there is a guidebook that talks about all things like over hospitals, healthcare, different shops, and things of that nature is all in the book. It's a 2025 guide for being black in KL. And then also it has the neighborhood guide. You can also get that. And then I have several different free guides for single moms. So you can also get that. That helps you just like think about living abroad if you're still in that stage of questioning. And then also, I offer because I am into relocation, travel assistance, and astrology, and I offer a service where I can do a reading for you to help you figure out the best place. Maybe KL is not even a good place for you to consider living. You should try to figure out where that is. Like for me, I already know that the ideal place for me to live is in Chiang Mai, and I'm gonna get there. It's just like KL, but I'm definitely considering that move too. So until next time, find your flow, follow your freedom, and always drift deep. I'm your girl, Chad Jones. Until next time, peace.